Hello, everyone. Thank you for all your input in the musical chairs survey. I found that to be interesting, and I'm sure if there were a lot more people in the class, the poll results would be even more intriguing. But I'll just mention that what stood out to me about the data collected from this poll, from this survey, I found it interesting that whether or not somebody went to a neighborhood school, all of us obviously went to school, and in that sense, we all had similar experience, and most of us went to private school, not private school. But for the most part, uh, if we most of us had been treated unfairly, and even if we had not, I think I was the only one who answered no to that, actually. Um, we knew somebody who was treated unfairly in school, especially by our peers, but even by teachers, in how they were perhaps showed favoritisms towards certain students, or maybe made a wrong judgment about that person. And so we all have obviously answered yes to that question, that somebody has made a judgment about us without getting to know us. And I think we could say the same for some of our classmates too in school. So I found that really interesting. And it's those things that even if they've happened a few times in our childhood, we remember those things. And it's really too bad, and it's really a shame in many of those cases. Um, but at the same time, I loved the result that said that all of us have been in a situation in which somebody went out of their way to actually help us do something we wouldn't have been able to do ourselves, uh, probably in a teaching to student situation. And that's just wonderful. There are always great mentors that come into our lives and help us with those things. So that's what stood out to me from the polls. One yes answer, actually, I'll elaborate on is uh, the second to last one. Has somebody ever made a judgment call about me without getting to know me? And I'll say yes. I had some classmates that was particularly true for. Um, but I had some teachers that just took me for being smart and nice and basically a hard worker, but never asked too many questions to find out if I really understood something. Because I was the kid that got good grades on everything and seemed to understand everything, but a lot of the time I just made sure I got the right answers to things, and I wasn't always clear on how things worked. And it wasn't really until high school that I started to ask questions to find out the real answers and really understand. I was either too shy or too prideful to ask questions most of the time, because I didn't ever want to be considered wrong. And I think a lot of my teachers growing up made the judgment call, that I was smart, I understood it all, and they didn't have to find out if I really got it. There were a few that did, but it's a very simple judgment call. But that's what I wanted to elaborate on, and I think that actually will help me be more empathetic towards my students, or sympathetic in the sense that uh, I think because of that, I am more attuned to people's needs, and I actually ask them pointed questions, even not in a educational setting, but I'll ask people questions about what they need, what they're struggling with, um, where areas they've improved in, what are they still unsure about, And I'm not afraid to explain it to them because I understood that myself, my pride, that I maybe didn't want to seem to be wrong, but I did deep inside want to understand how things worked. And so I want to be the teacher that clearly explains everything and makes sure everybody gets it, and asks questions to the kids that maybe seem like they understand because they're getting good grades and they act like they're tracking, but they may be like me when I was younger. Um, so I think that that will be helpful in the classroom setting. I'm not sure who I can connect to or relate with. I'll probably have to do that in the replies to this video. So thanks for listening. Have a great week.